In Hollywood, fame is supposed to protect you. The money, the mansions, the millions of fans. But for John Travolta, none of it mattered. Because 3 different times in his life, he found himself standing beside someone he loved, watching them take their final breath. First, it was the woman he believed was his soulmate. Years later, it was his own son. And then, decades after becoming one of the most famous actors on Earth, tragedy struck again. 3 heartbreaking losses, 1 Hollywood legend, and a life story far darker than the movies that made him famous. If you're already hooked by this story, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. You won't want to miss the journey ahead. To understand how John Travolta survived all of this, you have to go back to a small house in New Jersey where his story first began. Long before the fame, before the red carpets, before millions of people knew his name, John Travolta was just the youngest of 6 children growing up in Inglewood, New Jersey. Money was always tight. His father, Salvatore, sold tires for a living and often came home late, hands stained with grease and exhaustion. His mother, Helen, had once been a singer and performer on radio shows, but by the time John was growing up, she was teaching drama at a local high school. Their home was crowded and noisy. Dreams were big, but the bank account was small. Dinner portions were carefully measured, new clothes were rare, and Hollywood felt like another universe entirely. But John's mother believed something different. She saw a spark in her youngest son, a confidence on stage that most kids never develop. She told him something that would stay with him for the rest of his life. Being poor is temporary, being ordinary is forever. Those words stayed with him. By 16, he made a decision that shocked almost everyone around him. He dropped out of high school. No backup plan, no safety net. Just a teenager chasing a dream in New York City. At first, the dream looked nothing like success. He slept on couches, took tiny acting jobs, passed out flyers on freezing sidewalks just to make enough money to eat. Auditions were brutal. Most ended the same way, rejection. But John refused to quit. Then, in 1975, everything suddenly changed. A new sitcom called Welcome Back, Kotter premiered. John Travolta, playing the charming troublemaker Vinnie Barbarino, became an overnight sensation. Fans loved him. Teen magazines plastered his face across their covers. Crowds began recognizing him everywhere he went. For the first time in his life, success felt real. If you're fascinated by how a small-town kid became a global star, hit subscribe now so you don't miss the next chapters of his story. But what happened next would push him even further into superstardom. In 1977, a small movie about disco culture was released, Saturday Night Fever. Almost overnight, John Travolta became one of the most famous people on the planet. The image of him in a white suit, pointing toward the sky on the dance floor, became iconic. The film earned him an Academy Award nomination at just 24 years old. Then came Grease. Released in 1978, it exploded into one of the most successful musicals ever made. Suddenly, Travolta wasn't just a star, he was a global phenomenon. But while the world saw a young man living a dream, something heartbreaking was happening behind the scenes. Travolta had fallen deeply in love with Diana Hyland. She was older, wise, and unlike anyone he had known before. Friends described them as inseparable. But there was something Travolta didn't know at first. Diana was seriously ill. She had been battling breast cancer, and the disease was already spreading. While Travolta was becoming one of the most famous actors in the world, Diana's condition worsened. Eventually, the moment he feared arrived. Travolta rushed to her side, and in March of 1977, at just 23 years old, John held the woman he loved as she took her final breath. It was the first devastating loss of his life. But strangely, the world outside never slowed down. Saturday Night Fever exploded in popularity. Studios demanded more movies. Fans expected smiles on red carpets. So Travolta kept working. He kept dancing. He buried the pain, because life in Hollywood don't pause for grief. But fame can be fleeting. By the early 1980s, films began to fail. Critics were harsher. Roles that could have cemented his status went to other actors. Slowly, the spotlight dimmed. By the late 1980s, Hollywood seemed to have forgotten him. Just when it seemed like his career was over, a single call changed everything. Quentin Tarantino wanted him for Pulp Fiction. Travolta hesitated for months. He agonized. But when he said yes, the world remembered what had been lost. His performance as Vincent Vega shocked critics and audiences alike, earning him another Academy Award nomination. Suddenly, the actor thought to be washed up was back at the top. But fame was no shield from heartbreak. In 1991, he married actress Kelly Preston. Together, they built a family and seemed to find stability. They had children, including their son Jett, who faced severe health challenges. In 2009, tragedy struck again. Jett suffered a seizure while on vacation, and despite John's desperate efforts, his son passed away at just 16. Heartbreak returned again in 2020, when Kelly Preston lost her battle with breast cancer. For the second time, Travolta lost the woman he loved most. Today, John lives quietly in Florida with his children. The bright lights of Hollywood are not as constant as they once were, but what remains is far more powerful than fame: resilience. Over the course of his life, John Travolta has experienced both the highest highs and the most painful losses imaginable. He has stood on the biggest stages in the world, and he has stood beside the people he loved most as they slipped away. Yet through all of it, he kept going. And maybe that is the real story behind the Hollywood legend. Not just the movies, not just the fame, but the quiet strength it takes to wake up each day and keep moving forward, even when the music fades. If John Travolta's journey moved you, hit like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Let's honor the courage it takes to keep going, no matter what life throws at you.